Prepare those nacho trays and fire up those grills. The pigskin is back in service. After an off-season full of organizational power grabbing and metropolitan backstabbing, it's time to get back to the basics. Week 1 should be a doozy. Yeah, about all that perfect season talk. Ooh boy, this is awkward. Kareem Hunt chose to stomp on all of the hot takes and pissing matches with a debut for the ages, which will immediately begin even more overreactionary hot takes. Calm your tits, everyone. This was a matchup between two of the top teams in the AFC. The Chiefs looked legit for 60 minutes. Alex Smith swapped personas with Tom Brady, for God's sakes. The Patriots were upset, but don't go off the ledge. If they don't win their weak-ass division this year, then something went really, really wrong. It would be funny to see them. Rev up those tanks. It's time for the first officially sanctioned tank ball. The Jets have been shucking every valuable player out the door with zen-like patience while the Bills got a late start. The Bills may have won the game, but the Jets have won the tank. It's harder to pick a butt fumble when the entire offense is won. Get the liquor. Good work, Atlanta. You didn't embarrass yourselves in your first game against a potential bottom feeder. Unfortunately, the Bears made it a lot tighter than it should have been thanks to a somewhat sputtering offense. Thank God for Austin Hooper. Didn't think you'd be saying that one. Chicago, you try. But don't you worry, Kevin White is going to be so good for you, really. Again. I like to call this one karma for signing Burfict to an extension. This time, Andy Dalton continually shot himself in the foot against the division rival in the home opener. 4 interceptions and the fumble. With all of those so-called weapons he has too. The Ravens could have had a cutout of Trent Dilfer out there and still would have won the game handily. Bengals, it's gonna be a long year. When's the Marvin Lewis extension incoming? I don't know how to gauge this one. On one end, I was impressed with how the Browns came out as a unit and stuffed a potent running attack. On the other, the Steelers are notorious for playing down to their competition. The constant stream of yellow flags against the Steelers doesn't help matters either. It's too bad. I would have loved the angry Yenters on sports radio if they lost. Brownies, you may be getting out of the basement this year. A 6-win season awaits. It's a sad state of affairs when the Lions are the best team in Detroit. It was on full display with a dazzling air show by Stafford, proving he was kinda sorta worth that massive payday. Cardinals, though, oh boy, the Cards. Carson Palmer is a turnover machine once again, the defense sputtered, and the main catalyst of your offense may be out for a while. You guys are going to be on the ledge of the Grand Canyon. Please rise for testimony from the Book of Wentz, a story where he bewilders the perennial tire fire because apparently nobody on the Skins knows how to make a goddamn tackle. Also, Kirk Cousins looked like a guy who's ready to head for San Fran. Philly looked like a pretty decent unit out there, and Aguilar actually did a thing. EDP is going to be so pissed when he finds out. Today we learned why the Raiders are considered to be one of the top teams in the AFC. A complete dismantling of a team oozing potential like the Titans. Forgive me for jumping to conclusions, but the Titans just looked really pedestrian today. Always being a step behind the Raiders on all fronts. Although from what the other teams in their division gave us, it may be enough to win it outright. Texans, what the fuck was that? What kind of shit show did I just witness on your home turf? You made Blake Bortles look competent, and Fournette looked like he was facing the Vanderbilt D. Their defense gave you flashbacks to David Carr, and that's not even getting into what you call a QB situation. Tom Savage looks like putrid sheep dung. And even worse, Jacksonville is boasting about this in the corniest way possible. Fucking Saxonville? Sounds like a little hamlet before the Battle of Hastings. This was supposed to be an easy win, you said. This was supposed to be a nice escape from the realities of Harvey, they said. The sad fact is, you weren't even the worst team out of your division this week. Indy, when we said you were going to take a step back without luck, we didn't mean completely forget every goddamn tenet about the game of football. Scott Tolzien proved that clipboard holding isn't a viable on-field trade, and they got their asses kicked in by the Rams. The Rams. The defense made Jared Goff look like a god. They couldn't contain the stereotypical white slot receiver, for fuck's sake. There aren't enough cliches in the world for Chuck Pagano to use after that shit show.
Our asses kicked. And credit 49ers and Coach McVay.
Pagano, did you get into Jim's stash again? Let's take a look at how the fans are responding to this new age of Niner football. Suddenly, the Rams' empty stadium doesn't look so pathetic. Why would people bother to travel 40 miles and pay outrageous prices to see this laughingstock? It's almost as if people don't want to see pure offensive impotence, led by god-awful play calling and a turnstile for an offensive line. The only thing you've proven is that you're going to be garbage yet again this year. but there is a positive. You actually scored points! How do you manage to make a god-awful Packers defense that got smoked repeatedly last year look like the purple people eaters? Feast mode went nowhere. Russell Wilson couldn't run fast enough out of the pocket, and you wasted a valiant effort of the Legion of Boom trying to assassinate Aaron Rodgers. Unfortunately, he did Aaron Rodgers-like things and put the dagger in your hearts once again. At least you're in a god-awful division this year, Seattle. Take that to the bank. Here we see the New York Giants attempting to decipher the complex algorithms of moving a football to the other side of the field. You still have no running game and reaped the reward of pray OBJ does something spectacular and don't think of a plan B. This plan does not work when OBJ is out of the lineup. The Cowboys got a bonus because the judicial courts called out the wheel of discipline as a poor method of punishment. It's too bad. Nobody except Cowboys fans want them to succeed. Dallas is once again the favorite to win the division. I'm waiting 4 months for the playoff choke. Adrian Peterson returns to the home that pain and misery built. Like his performances in other big games, AP did nothing, except talk about donkeys. And like the status quo, the Saints defense is still a steaming pile of goat shit. Dalvin Cook literally could have lied in a hammock and gained 6 yards out of it. Sam Bradford was playing target practice with receivers who had nobody on them. Unfortunately, it doesn't help when the Saints are ineffective in the red zone. I can't be too optimistic about Minnesota, though. Just too many flashbacks to last year. Here we see the Chargers playing second fiddle to a division rival. Again. They seem overmatched against the Broncos today, but this is a different Chargers squad than the one in San Diego. They've scored 14 unanswered points in the fourth quarter. They aren't going to blow this opportunity. Oh, what's this? Another special teams fuck up? My God, it's like they never left San Diego at all. Fuck you, Spanos.
Beth, Coach, it's a pleasure to be with you guys here on the field from up close, just watching Coach Vance Joseph. From here, you watch him now on the screen. This diversity in his background is helping him a lot tonight. Quarterback at Colorado, defensive back in the NFL, and here he is having the time of his life.